Hello students, welcome to my lecture on computer graphics. I am Shravani Kundu, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Guru Nanak Institute of Technology. Today I will discuss self-intersecting polygon filling algorithm. In my previous class, I discussed the scanline polygon filling algorithm. So in case of scanline polygon filling algorithm, we can fill only those polygons which have no intersecting edges. That means only the regular polygons like rectangle, hexagon, triangle, pentagon, something like that. So those polygons can be filled up using the scanline polygon filling algorithm. But in most of the cases, the polygons have intersecting edges. So it is really difficult to identify which portion of the polygon is interior to the interior and which one is the outside exterior region. So to find out the interior region and to find out the exterior region is very important for the intersecting polygon. So as you know that if we draw a polygon like this one, if I draw a polygon like this one, you can see that there is, for this particular polygon, there is no intersecting edges. So it can be easily filled up by the scanline polygon filling algorithm. But if there is a polygon like this one, okay, so you can see for this particular polygon, there are many intersecting edges. So now it is really difficult to find out which region is inside of the polygon and which region is the outside of the polygon. So what we have to do, we have to apply separate algorithms for that. So scanline polygon filling algorithm will not work in this case. So here for this type of problem, we will apply two different algorithms. The first one is the inside outside test algorithm. So this is called inside outside test algorithm. Okay, and the second one is called the winding number algorithm. Okay, so here to find out the inside outside test algorithm, okay, so find out the inside out to find out which region of the polygon is inside and which one is the outside, we will apply two technique. One is called the odd even test, odd even test, and the second one is called the non-winding non-zero winding number test. The second one is called non-zero winding number test. Okay, so this inside outside test algorithm can apply any one of these tests to check whether a point, whether a region is inside of the polygon or it is outside of the polygon. Okay, so first we will discuss the odd even test. Now for all these cases, while where there is the polygon has the intersecting edges, so what the important thing you have to do, you have to put the numbering of the vertices either in clockwise or in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so here we will apply, we will write down the name of the vertices in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so let us write down the name of the vertices. So this is called the vertices A. Okay, now this is B, C, D. and then E. You can move in any direction. You can move in either in the clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction, but you have to follow any one of the rule. You cannot put the name haphazardly in any arbitrary order. If you put it, then it will be difficult for you to find out after which vertex the which will come. Okay. So those are in this way. I just put the name of the different vertices. So they are the vertices A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So there are 7 vertices. Okay. Now, after that, I will put some arrow, okay, to indicate that in which order I am moving. So that will be easy for you to understand. So I am moving from A to B. So I can put the arrow like this one, A to B, and then from B to C, I can move the direction, put the direction in this way. Then C to D, fine. D to E, E to F, and F to G, and finally G to E. Okay. So in this way, you can put the direction on the edges. So the now first state, so consider there is a point, this one. Now how we can check whether this point is belong inside of the polygon or this point belongs to outside of the polygon. Okay. So if I can find out the whether that point is inside or outside, then we can determine whether the region is belongs to the polygon or not. Fine. So to do so, what we have to do, we have to take a point P in the region. Fine. Now, from that point P, what we will do, we will draw a line from that point to the direction infinite. Okay. Just a minute. So what we will do, from this point P, we will draw from this point P, we will draw an edge, draw a line in the infinite direction. It can move in the infinite. Its end point is infinity. Okay. Now you can see that this line you can consider as the scan line. So I am discussing now odd even test. So this line is called the scan line. Okay, clear? Now this scan line intersect all the edges of the polygon. So now we will put some intersect. So those are the intersecting points. So we put some names like this is the point P1. This intersecting point is P2. And then this intersecting point is P3. So now after finding the intersection point, you will count it if the number of intersection point is odd. So in that case, the point P is inside the polygon. Otherwise, the point P will be outside of the polygon. It is very simple concept. Again, I am repeating, you take a point P, which is any position of the polygon in any side, anywhere in the polygon, draw a line parallel to x-axis to the infinite direction, find out the intersection points, count the number of intersection points. If the number of intersection points is odd, if the number is odd, in that case the point P belongs inside the polygon. If the number is even, in that case the point P belongs to outside of the polygon. So here you can see there are 3 intersecting points. So we can consider the point P is inside of the polygon. So this region is the interior. So in this way, we can draw a line from all the points which is present in that region, and we can draw the line, and we, based on the number of intersection points, we can take the decision whether the point is inside or not. And if it is inside, then color that point. Point means the pixel. Color that pixels with the desired color. Fine. So in this way, we can find out, we can fill up the polygon by our desired color. So this type of test is called the inside outside test. Okay. Now we will take another point. So consider another point here. Okay, take a point here. Now name it by Q. We name it by Q. Now what we will do? We will again draw straight line. We will take from where the starting position of the line is Q, and from that position we will draw a line which is parallel to x-axis and in the infinite direction. So what we will do, we will take this point as the starting point, Q as the starting point, and then draw a line in the infinite direction. After drawing the line, what we will do, we will find out the intersection point. So here you can see in this case there are two intersection points, this one and this one. So as the number of intersection points for the point Q, so as the number of intersection point, so the important parameter is number of intersection points. Okay. So if the number of intersection points is even, then the point is outside. Brother, you should write if number of intersection point odd, if it is odd, then the point is inside of the polygon. Inside of the polygon. Okay. So this is very important features, important parameter to check the interior region or exterior region for a polygon. Clear? Now the same technique is basically applied for the scanline polygon filling algorithm. Now the next algorithm which we will discuss is called the non-zero winding number algorithm. So the next algorithm which we will discuss is called the non-zero winding number algorithm. It is called non-zero winding number algorithm. Okay. Now we will consider this same polygon. Okay. So we will consider the same polygon. And as I told you that we will put the name of the vertices in any one of the direction, clockwise or anti-clockwise. So let us consider this is point A, this is B, C, D, E, F, G. Fine. Now what we will do here, based on the, as I am giving the name of the points, we will put the arrow as I showed you the earlier. So we will give some direction like A to B, then B2. So that means we are traversing, we will start from any point and we are traversing all the edges of the polygon either in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. So we are traversing like that, then these edges, then we traverse in these edges and then these edges, and finally these edges will reach to the starting point. Fine. Now we will apply another technique to check whether a point is inside or outside of the polygon. To do so, what we have to do, the same technique we will apply. So let us take a point. This is a point P, which below, we don't know whether the point P is inside the polygon or outside of the polygon, because we don't know whether this is in exterior region or interior region. So now what we will do, from these particular points, from that point, again we will consider this is the starting point of a straight line, and we will draw a straight line whose ending point is in the infinity direction, infinite. Now this straight line crosses the edges of the polygon. Now if you look from this point, so suppose your eye is at the point P, okay, your eye is at the point P, that means you are looking from this direction. So if you are looking from this direction, if you are facing if your face is towards the point P, then this is your left side. So this is your left side and this is your right side. Check. If your face is towards the point P, then it is the left side and this is the right side. Fine. Now what we will do, we will check that with which edges this scan line, we can say it is a scan line, okay. So with which edges this scan line intersects. Okay. Now here this scan line intersects with the edges AB. Now what is the direction of the line? The direction of the line is from A to B. That means from left to right. Fine. So if the direction of any line is left to right, then what we have to do? We have to consider that we can consider a value which is called the -1. So this value -1 is called the winding number. Again, I am repeating. You are looking, your face is at the point P. Now this is your left side and this is your right side. This line crosses the line, intersect the line AB, line of the polygon. And this line AB, you can see what is the direction. The direction is coming from A to B. So that means the direction is downwards, or we can say the direction is from left to right. Now if the direction is left to right, in that case, we can consider the value of the intersection point is -1. So this -1 is called the winding number. Okay. So we can define that the non-zero winding number rule basically counts the number of times the polygon edges wind around a particular point. Fine. So this winding can be in the counterclockwise direction or clockwise direction. Fine. So this count, that means the number of winding. So this count is called the winding number. Now here this intersection, this line again intersect the line AG, and you can see the direction of the line from G to A, or rather we can say from our right side to left side. So if the direction is from right side to left side, then we have to add 1 with plus 1 with the value. So that means if the winding is from left to right, then the value will be minus 1, and if it is right to left, then the value will be plus 1, and we will add it with all the intersection points. How many intersection points we will get? We will repeatedly add this number, and finally we will get either 0 or 1 or any or some other value, non-zero value. Fine. So here the first one is the minus 1 and second one is the plus 1. So we will write like this one, minus 1 plus 1. Now you can see this same line intersects the HDE. Now while it will intersect the HDE, you can see the arrow from left to right. And what is the rule? If the arrow is from left to right, then the value is, we have to add minus 1 with the number. So now, after doing all those things, all those addition and subtraction, what the value we will get the minus 1. So in case of non-zero winding number algorithm, so this number minus 1 is called the winding number. Okay, winding number. Now if the winding number, if the winding number, if winding number is not equals to 0, in that case the point is inside. Then point is inside. Else, if it is any value other than 0, then the point is outside. That means the outside of the polygon. Fine. So in that case, you can see from the value it is minus 1. So what is the position? What is the location of the P? The point P is inside of the polygon. Now we will take another point. You can take a point over here. Fine. And consider, give the name Q. We will draw some edges from this particular point. So these edges will be, we will draw the line, scan line from which starting point is this one and ending as the infinity. Fine. Okay, just a minute. Another important consideration I have to tell you, that before that I have to shift the point, I have to change the location of the point. The Q will be not like this position. We can consider the Q over here. So consider Q is over here. So from this K point, we will draw a line like this one. Now here you can see, after drawing the line, this line intersect the edge FG at this point, and it will intersect the edge at this point. So these 2 points. Now if I consider this point, so this intersection is for which edge? For edge FG. And what is the direction? If you look from, if our face is towards the point Q, then this arrow is going from right to left. So if it is right to left, then what we have to do, as per the decision, as per the rule, we have to write +1. Now consider the next one. So for the next point, the arrow is coming from left to right. So we have to add -1 is with this value. So ultimately we will get 0. So what is the algorithm? The algorithm says that if the winding number is 0, then in that case the point is outside. So here the point Q is outside of the polygon. Fine. Now apart from that, I want to tell you very important consideration, which is if this winding number concept or this odd even concept, this concept will not work for any vertices. So if a point passes through a vertices, in that case it will not work. Clear? Again I am telling, so if a point passes through a vertices, in that case this winding number concept will not work. So that is all about the polygon filling algorithm, where the shape of the polygon is not the ordinary shape. There is some intersecting edges. Okay. Now we will discuss. So as I discussed that all the polygon filling algorithms, so all the polygon filling algorithm can be divided into two categories. So polygon filling algorithm, basically we can divide it into two class. First one is the scanline algorithm and second one is called the boundary filling algorithm. Okay. So under this scanline filling algorithm, all ordinary scanline algorithm which works for the polygon, non-ordinary polygon, that will come under this scanline category. The odd even rules, the non-zero winding number rules, so everything comes under the scanline polygon filling algorithm. Because you can see over here we are drawing a scan line from a particular point. Okay. Now next we will discuss the boundary filling algorithm. So next algorithm is called the boundary filling. So next we will discuss the boundary filling algorithm. Boundary filling. Okay. Now this boundary filling algorithm are of different types. So one is directly called the boundary fill and the second one is called the flat fill. So boundary filling algorithm, basically we can again divide it into two categories. The first one is called the boundary fill algorithm and second one is called the flat fill algorithm. Okay, this is called the flat fill algorithm. So two types of algorithms are there, boundary fill and flat fill. Again, boundary filling algorithm can be divided into two classes. One is called the 4 connected algorithm and the second one is called the 8 connected algorithm. Okay. 4 connected and 8 connected algorithm. The concept is very simple for the boundary filling algorithm. So what we have to do in case of boundary filling algorithm, we take a point which is inside of the polygon. So initially we will start from a point which is inside of the polygon. Now we will check the color of that points. Okay. So if the color of the point is not the color which we want to fill, and if the color is the base color or the background color, and then what we will do, we will fill the points by using the desired color and then find out all the, in case of 4 connected, then we'll find out all the 4 nearest neighbor. In case of 8 connected, we will find out all the 8 nearest neighbor, and then we'll perform the same thing for all the points. Okay. So I'm just showing you that what will happen. So in case of, consider a shape like this one. Okay. Consider a shape like this one. We want to fill this shape with the help of a color. Okay. Now, what we have to do, the step 1. Step 1 is we have to take a point. Remember the choosing of the point. This is called the seed point also. Okay. So this point, definitely it must be inside of the polygon. So if I start with the point which is outside of the polygon, then you can see that all the area will be filled up except the polygon. So you have to be very careful that while you are selecting the point P should be inside of the polygon. Fine. Now consider the boundary color is blue. Okay. So what the P will do, I want to fill the polygon with the red color. So what I want to do, I want to fill polygon with red color. Okay. And my boundary color is blue. Clear? Two things are there. I want to fill the polygon with red color and my boundary color is blue. So what the point P will do, and this is my background color is white. So what the point P will do, it will check that what is my color, whether my color is red or that my color is blue. So if the color of the point P is red, that means that particular pixel is already colored by the filling color. And if the color of the point P is blue, that means I belongs to the boundary, so I should not be colored by red. Clear? Again, I am telling the point P will first pick its color and check whether its color is red or blue. So red means whether its color is the filling color or whether its color is the boundary color. So if it is filling color, that means this point is already filled up, colored by the red color. So we don't need to color it again. And if it is blue color, that means this point is belongs to the boundary and we don't need to color it by red. Fine. If these two condition is not satisfied, that means if we can write it like that, we can write it if color of point P is not equals to fill color. Okay, it's not equals to fill color and so it not equals to fill color and we can write it color of P is not equals to boundary color. Okay, boundary color. So if this condition, if both the condition will not satisfied, in that case what we will do, we will set the color of P by red. So rather we should, here I am writing red, it will be generalized, it will be fill color. Set color of the point P by the fill color. Okay. Now if it is 4 connected algorithm, in that case the P will choose the 4 nearest neighbor. So what will be the 4 nearest neighbor? So you see, you consider so I am drawing the grid structure, pixel structure for the points. This is, those squares are nothing but the pixels. Okay. So what we will do, so consider this one is, this point is, this is P. Okay. So this is P. So what we have to do, as per our algorithm, the color, so let me fill up the color of the so consider this is my just a minute, I should draw some more grids, then it will be easy for you to understand. Let me draw more grids. So I will draw some more grids. One more, this one more over here. one more over here, one more over here, right? So that's all. So what we will do, consider this is my boundary color, boundary. Okay, so this is the boundary of the object. Now I want to fill the inside portion and consider that this particular this point, this is this highlighted point, this is the point P. So definitely you can see the first it will check what is the color of the P. The color of the P is nothing but white, whatever it may be, some other color, black or any other thing. So white is not equals to fill color. I want to fill it by red. So white is not equals to red. Fine. And white is not, so this is true, and white is not equals to blue also. So this is also true. So true and true. So it will execute the if statement. So inside the if statement, so it will set the point P by the red color. Okay. So this particular pixel will be colored by red. Now after coloring it red, so if it is four-way connected, then it will select the four nearest neighbor. So who are the four nearest neighbor? The four nearest neighbors are those. Okay. So if the coordinate of point P is xy, then in that case the four nearest neighbors are, the coordinate of the four nearest neighbors will be x plus 1. So this is x plus 1 comma y, x minus 1 comma y, fine, and x y plus 1 and x y minus 1. So those are the four nearest neighbors. So this is x y plus 1, this is x y minus 1, this is x plus 1 y, and this is x minus 1 y. So what it will do, it will call the same algorithm for all the four neighbor pixels. So if this algorithm is called the, if this algorithm is the boundary fill algorithm, and there are some parameters are there, so consider this is algorithm. So in that case, what will happen, this algorithm, boundary fill algorithm will be called, so this boundary fill algorithm will be called for coordinate x plus y. This will be called, this same boundary fill algorithm, the name of the algorithm is boundary fill, so I should write it fill. So it will call the for x minus 1 y and all the rest of the parameters. Then inside the same function, this is a recursive calling. So this boundary fill algorithm will be called by x y plus 1 and the same boundary fill algorithm will be called for x y minus 1, rest of the parameters. This is end of the if and this is end of the function. So that means the same algorithm, same strategy, same technique, same logic will be applied for this particular pixel. Again, this pixel will assume that check its background its color is white, so it is not blue, not red. So what it will do, it will fill it by the red color. Then again it call all its nearest neighbor. So each nearest, what are the nearest neighbor? So four nearest neighbors are this one, this one, this one, and this one. So when for this particular pixel P, it will be called, so this pixel is already colored by red. So this particular pixel will not execute the same function. It will not call the function. So the function will be called by only those four pixels. So those four pixels will be colored by red. Okay. So they will be colored by red. Now, when those four pixels will be colored by, so this is a recursive calling. So this pixel will call this one. So in this way, all the pixels will be colored by red. Okay. So recursive calling, all the pixels will be colored by red. So like this one. Now you can see the entire polygon will be filled up by the filling color red. Now while the last pixel, those are the last pixels. So when the last pixel will execute the same function and they will call the boundary fill for all these 4 nearest neighbors, all the 4 nearest neighbor will not satisfy the condition, because its nearest neighbor, 2 nearest neighbors are colored by blue and one is all red. Two is colored by blue and 2 is colored by red. So for this particular pixels, all the 4 nearest neighbor will not satisfy. So there is no remaining pixels which can satisfy this condition. So the algorithm will stop. So in this way, the boundary fill algorithm will be executed for 4 nearest neighbors. So this algorithm is called the 4 connected algorithm. Clear? Now this 4 connected algorithm has some problem. So that's why we will go for the 8 connected algorithm. Fine. So this I will discuss in my next class. So in this class, I will only cover this 4 connected algorithm, and you can see that for the 8 connected algorithm, it is very simple. It is not like so much tough. In case of 8 connected algorithm, the same functions will be called for all the 8 nearest neighbor. So who are the nearest neighbors? So if the point P is xy, so those are the 4 points. Apart from that, the points will be x plus 1 comma y plus 1, the another 4 points. This is x minus 1 comma y minus 1. So x minus 1, y plus 1, and the last one is x plus 1, y minus 1. Fine. So those are the another 4 coordinates. So one is x plus 1. So if this is the x, if this is the point P, so this pixel position of this particular point is nothing but this is a x minus 1 and y plus 1. This again the next so basically there are we are selecting the 4 corner points. Okay, so the coordinate for the 4 corner points are those one. So the same technique will be applied. That is, instead of calling the boundary fill function for the 4 nearest neighbor, we will call the boundary fill function for the 8 nearest neighbor. And why this? We need the 8 connected algorithm, though we have the 4 connected algorithm. You can understand this necessary while you will learn the flat fill algorithm. Okay, so in my next class, so that's all for today. In my next class, I will discuss the flat fill algorithm, and I think it will be very, after discussion of the flat fill algorithm, you can understand why we need the 8 connected algorithm. So thank you for watching my video.